Do you think our leaders overall are handling this in the best of way? Do you think like our politicians, our public officials, everybody, like, do you think we are handling this okay?
Yeah. So, in regards to the Trump administration, the response has kind of been back and forth. At first, it was very much downplayed. It was, don't worry
It will
about
go
it.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you hear? I mean, there was a couple of senators, Republican senators, not like it matters whether they're Republican or Democrat, who people are telling them that they should leave the Congress because in a private press conference, they heard just how bad the coronavirus might become. Out in public, they were saying that the coronavirus would be fine, but in private, they sold their stocks because they
Right.
realized
Yeah.
that just doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
It seems like our public officials knew that this was coming, but they kind of downplayed it at first. It seems like
To
they
keep
started.
people calm and things.
I don't know if it was to keep people calm, but to keep the market steady, like you were saying.
Right.
I don't know exactly what the intentions were. Maybe they just didn't understand or realize it at the time. I mean, China, they were trying to keep this quiet for a while. They were silencing doctors who were trying to speak out and saying that the coronavirus is a problem. They even put them into detention centers. So the way that China handled it wasn't optimal, but once it came to the United States, it seemed like it was downplayed just a bit. I remember seeing Trump at a rally. I think he called the coronavirus response by the Democrats more of a media hoax to try and get the Trump administration like bad rap on how he's trying to handle it. But now that people are starting to realize that this is a legitimate problem, I think the Trump administration started handling it like they should. But right now, and I'm not sure, all of this can change by the time that this actually comes out, but it seems like right now the Trump administration is saying that they want the public and they want people back working before Easter,
Yeah.
which the scientists are telling us that the worst
No.
is yet to come.
Yeah. They're saying that's a very, very dreamy time of date.
100%. And you're risking lives at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, I know why the Trump administration is doing it. They don't want the economy to keep tanking. I don't want the economy
Right.
to keep tanking, right? But at the same time, we have to understand that lives are important, and sending people to work and sending people out to do regular business while this is going on, while this is at its peak, is not something that we should be promoting, right? And so I would caution to say that the Trump administration right now is doing an effective job at handling it. Essentially, I would say we need to realize the severity of what we're facing, and like I said, the scientists are projecting that in 6 or 7 weeks is going to be the worst time. It's going to have the
Yes.
peak cases, right? 6 or 7 weeks. That's after April.
Yeah.
So we need to be careful and we need to prioritize lives over the economy. But I understand why the Trump administration is doing it. I think if the economy stays the way it is and the coronavirus doesn't get handled before the general election, Trump is in real danger in the general election. And I'm not blaming this on Trump. Of course, the coronavirus wasn't caused by Trump.
But it's our leader.
It's our leader, and at the same time, people who don't necessarily super pay attention to politics, they might not realize that. They just think of, how is my family doing right now, right? When we're in an economic crisis and when people are struggling, they typically tend to go away from the incumbent.
Yeah.
So I think Donald Trump is scared right now of his reelection. I mean, his approval ratings are hanging steady at about 43%, which is a little low for reelection. So I think he's trying to get a handle on this before it spins out of control.
Right.
But it should be very interesting to see exactly
How it
what
goes
political
out.
repercussions it's going to have for the general election. And I'm glued to my seats and watching exactly what's happening just as much as everybody else.